Welcome to a special coverage from Cannes Film Festival 2026. In the course of the next 2 intensive weeks, we're going to follow the press conference, red carpet moments, and interviews with actors and directors for the competition movies. So please follow us on Onepress TV, our journey to find out who's going to take home the prestigious Palme d'Or. Welcome to the Cannes Film Festival. We're very excited today. The movie Peppa Tiger is going to have its world premiere here. And actually there's been a lot of buzz around this movie. I think it's the story itself is interesting. And we're going to find stars like Miles Taylor, Scarlett Johansson, and Adam Driver. And it's directed by James Gray. It's a powerful drama about two brothers chasing the American dream in New York. But when they become involved with the Russian mafia, their life starts to fall apart. The film explores family, loyalty, betrayal, and how far people will go to protect the ones they love. And Miles Taylor has been here before in Cannes with the movie Top Gun. Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver has been here with several movies before in Cannes. So enjoy the red carpet and enjoy the movie when you will see it. Okay, now I can see Adam Driver arriving here to the red carpet. It looks like Adam Driver is taking his time. Looks he's going to sign some autographs first before he's going to go to red carpet. And here we see Miles Taylor. He's looking good, looking sharp.
Plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe du film Peppa Tiger, signé James Gray, présenté en compétition pour ce 79e Festival de Cannes. Avec nous sur le tapis rouge, James Gray. Il est accompagné de ses acteurs, Adam Driver et Miles Taylor. Ils sont entourés des productrices Rodrigo Teixeira, Anthony Catagas, Rafaela Leon.
Welcome back. We're moving on with the press conference for Peppa Tiger, where we're going to ask a question to Adam Driver and Miles Taylor. Hi, my name is Marcus from Sweden, work for Onepress TV. It's great to have you here. I want to ask Adam Driver and Miles Taylor a question. So the brothers plays a central role in the movie. So how did you work together to create this brotherhood relationship? Looks authentic on screen.
There wasn't much that we had to work at because, again, the script is so clear and specific that we didn't have to put much on top of it. We had a couple, like a week or maybe 2 weeks of rehearsal before we started, and James is very forthcoming about bringing his personal stories and why he wrote things, but he's not territorial over it. I feel like in those rehearsals, everyone was very forthcoming of the dynamics that they pulled out of the sibling relationship. And so immediately there's a trust, and you kind of know what people are working with. And also Miles is just an incredible actor, so that he's available and playful and prepared. So it's kind of easy. There's I just like him immediately. So we didn't have to work at it at all. Scarlett, I've known, because we did a movie together before, so there was, already a shorthand and intimacy and, safety net. So it was very easy, to fall in love with Miles. And one thing
Not so bad yourself.
and James at the top, the one directive was, so long as every choice for Gary is based on his love for his brother, we should be able to find the arc of the character. That's the undercurrent of everything. So easy is the short, more succinct answer to your question.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time, like Adam mentioned, I think maybe a week or two, and that brotherhood and that sibling relationship is very much at the heart of this, and I feel like that dynamic tends to be established at a pretty young age in most households. But with Adam, it was interesting. We talked about this because we had spent some time throughout the years at different events. When we'd see each other, we'd kind of go off to the side and chat for a little bit, but there always seemed to be this sense of familiarity between the two of us without having worked together. But you can talk about it all you want in rehearsal. You really don't know until you put it up on its feet. And, Adam was incredibly spontaneous and generous and really, just fantastic to work with. And so I think we got very lucky. It was an incredible script, and we just kind of had to fill in the gaps and embody it.
How do you keep your soul in shape? Thank you.
This is from me?
How do you keep your soul in shape?
I got this. To me, family is the most important thing. Of anything, is love of family. So, and my kids and my wife and my immediate family, so everything else is secondary. That's the priority. If I try to think of if every decision is based on what I can do for them, I'll fail less. So that's it. That's apart from that, I got nothing. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I would second that. I have a fantastic wife and children. I would say maybe the only thing else I would add for me, art, music, things that transcend the daily grind. But it is tough. Make no mistake about it. Life is hard, and it's hard for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what your station is. It's a grind, and it gets harder. Getting older is not for sissies, as they say. So what does the soul need? Well, the soul needs a lot. And I try to fill it up with, every now and then listening to, Louis Armstrong or Lennon McCartney or Bach or something, and looking at, everything from George Grosz to Velasquez. That cheers me up, and watching a great movie. So that's what I have.
Good afternoon and welcome to an exciting day here at the Cannes Film Festival. Today we're proud to present the movie Diamond, directed by Andrew Garcia. The film features well-known faces like Dustin Hoffman, Bill Murray, and Brendan Fraser. Enjoy the red carpet.
Debbie Garcia, entourée de Vicky Krieps, Rosemary DeWitt.
Meglio Madalina che
Nous avons le plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe du film Diamond, signé Andy Garcia, et présenté en compétition pour ce 79e Festival de Cannes. Avec nous sur le tapis rouge, l'acteur et réalisateur Andy Garcia, accompagné de ses interprètes Vicky Krieps, Rosemary
Welcome back. That was all from the red carpet for the movie Diamond. We, Onepress TV, was there. Andy Garcia, the director of the movie, and he also had the main character in the movie. It was very emotional after the movie, where it talked about how long time it took him to make the movie. Nobody believed in him. It took him like 15 to 20 years to make it. But let's go to a press conference and listen to Andy Garcia.
I made a movie in 2005 called The Lost City, which is about loss. The loss of a country, the loss of a culture, loss of the very thing that you love, that you can love her but you can't be with her. And which is, in the case of the movie, which is Cuba, which is Havana, you know. So it's very much part of the very marrow of my bones. And this is this thematic of Joe Diamond being a man who carries his own moral code. There's a line that he won't cross, which is very typical of these detectives in this genre. They have this broken heart, or as Joe Diamond says in one of the voiceovers, a hole in his heart that will never be filled. And I have a hole in my heart. This is an homage to my love of film. And just sharing something that's deeply personal with you. As a young boy, I would go to the cinema. Was always enamored with the cinema, and once I was always enamored with the cinema. I told my colleagues yesterday that when maybe around the age of 11 or so, 12, I was very young. I'd get on a bus from I left Cuba when I was 5.5, and I moved to Miami Beach with my family. I would take the L bus and then transfer to the K bus. And this is like at 11 years old, and then get off at Lincoln Road. And in the summers, they'd have these double features. And they would show like The Great Escape and The Magnificent Seven, or the 2 James Bond movies, or The Crimson Pirate, and Captain Blood. And I would go there at 12 noon to see the double feature, but then I would stay until the last, at 10 o'clock, the last feature was at 10, so by midnight I'd be back home, just a young boy, 11 years old, on the bus by myself, having watched these 2 movies 3 times, so it was like six screenings of these movies, and I would do that constantly. So I had this love of cinema. I wasn't saying I want to be an actor or anything. I just had this connection to it, and in that process, all my life, came the film noir genre.
Welcome to the Cannes Film Festival. Tonight is another premiere, and the movie is called Hope. We're going to find some familiar faces like Alicia Vikander and Michael Fassbender. Enjoy the red carpet. Welcome back. We're moving on with another exciting press conference with the movie Hope, where we find actors like Alicia Vikander and Michael Fassbender.
Why did you decide, it's so fascinating that you're in this film. Why did you do it? And did you go full on method?
Yes. We just came out of it a year ago. We've been doing Aliens for a while. No, well, my first ever film festival that I went to internationally was Busan. I was about 21, and I stayed there. I was by myself with the film, and I stayed there for a few days, and I just kind of fell in love with Asian cinema. And a few years later, I saw Chaser, and then I saw The Yellow Sea, and then I saw The Wailing when it came out, and I was utterly blown away. And then I actually had a friend of mine, another actor, we had a script that we had been looking at, and I told him that there was this one man that I kind of dreamed who could do it, and I mentioned Hong Jin-na, and then we actually dared to reach out thinking that he would probably not even get back to us, but he came on board and we developed for a bit, and then in a very gentle manner he came back and he said, so I have this very big, kind of sci-fi action adventure that I've had for 10 years, and it looks like people are going to give me some money to do it. And, we were obviously, sad, but also understood that he was going to go and do this big film. But then he reached out, 2-3 years later and said, I have some aliens. and I was intrigued, and I didn't think. I said yes. I think Dr. Na is incredible, such a visionary, and I felt very honored to be part of his film.
You have to answer this question.
Okay.
Not off the hook.
Alicia told me to do it.
He listens to me.
Alicia also told me to do it. Thank you, Alicia.
I'm very
but on a serious note, being able to work, the dream is to be able to work in a different country on foreign to me, language films, and to work with an auteur, and director Na is an auteur who makes incredible cinema, and it is kind of beyond a dream to think of. I wouldn't even cast myself in any of his films because it feels inconceivable. So when the call came, you made me laugh the entire time I talked to you. So I thought it's going to be a very fun ride, but it's just a no-brainer. It's a joy to work with director Na and everybody here, and it would be great to do more Korean films and maybe speak some Korean as well in the future.
I think what's kind of interesting about the filmmaking of director Na as well is you just don't know what's going to come next. I think, used to sort of Western cinema, even though, films, are of very high quality and great films, you kind of have an idea what the trajectory is going to be, where it's going. Whereas with him, he's mixing genres. At the beginning, it's sort of like kind of comedy, it can be kind of absurd, and then it becomes very real. And it's just that sort of blending of different genres.
Have aliens coming to Earth that would be so funny and would teach us something like maybe these ones will?
They're already amongst us. I don't know. I mean, can we learn something from, I guess? It depends. I don't know. It's quite interesting in the last couple of years that there's a lot of talk about, the American government, I believe, releasing sort of stuff that pilots have captured, and unidentifiable flying objects, but they're called something else now. So it is in the media a lot at the moment, and you always wonder, what's that about? Hopefully, we could learn something from them. Hopefully, they wouldn't be aggressive, but I don't know really how to answer it. I think in our case, it's just, I think what's interesting about the aliens and what is sort of would be comparable to humans is they want the same things, which is just protecting their young. And it's sort of all down to that, protecting the future of their young. which we all do as well. So I guess the similarities between us and the aliens is what we look at in this film.
Welcome back. For the moment, we're going to leave the press conference and the red carpet. Instead, we're going to visit a special event tonight that is called Better Will Fun Gala. Tonight, we're attending the Better Will Fun Gala. It's a special charity event bringing together international stars and influential guests in support of important global causes. Hollywood icon Sharon Stone is one of the evening's main guests.
We really appreciate that you are here, and we appreciate that you care. Thanks very much for coming.
And among the stars on red carpet is Olga Kurylenko, best known for a role in the James Bond movie. Olga, welcome to Cannes Film Festival.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to be here?
Feels great.
Yeah.
I've been here since the 14th, so it's my fourth day.
Yeah. Have you seen any movies yet?
Yes, I've seen the film of Guillaume Canet, Karma, which was absolutely extraordinary. It's a masterpiece. Came out in tears.
Yeah.
Yes. And hoping, well, obviously every night I have events, so it's not always easy to go watch movies and do events. So tonight is not possible, but I'm going to try. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Almodovar film. We'll see.
And what will see more for you in the future?
Wow, I never like to speak about what I'm about to do. I'm okay to speak about what I've done, but as long as I don't have my foot on the set.
We go back to what you have done. You've been in Cannes before, 2015, with A Perfect Day. What are your memories from that?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But I've been there after. No, I think the last time I came here was with the Terry Gilliam film, Don Quixote. I think that was after, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything is blurry, but yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I know, I've been here many times, and it's always lovely. It's a lot of work, to the contrary of what people think. It's all glamorous, but it's actually like non-stop.
Yeah.
We're hungry. We don't have time to eat.
And now we're here in the Better Fun Gala. What is your involvement here?
So I co-produced and appeared in the movie that's called Don't Give Up. It's a documentary. With the people that became my friends since they presented the project. They came to me, approached me with the project to save, they want save lands, préserver les terres. And they made a documentary which they filmed over the years, traveling the world and visiting all the leaders of that are fighting for the ecology and for saving the world and the planet. And the film is about that. It's called Don't Give Up. And since I've participated in it, and now I'm going to be their how do you say it in English? La marraine. La marraine. How do you say that? No, la marraine. It's like the representative. So all started just with me helping them with the movie. I ended up in the movie, and obviously yesterday we did the premiere. I presented it, and tonight I was invited to the gala as part of the, saving the world. Let's do it.
Do you think it's hard for actresses to be taken seriously when they do talk about humanitarian causes? Because people be like, you live fabulous, glamorous lives, and they think that's it.
Do you know what? I don't blame them. I totally understand. It's logical, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, and yes, look, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I live in a shed, do you know what I mean? Although that would be fun. My son would love it. So if I do it, I do it for him. And but, however, if it takes to be famous to be heard, then why not?
Use it for the right things.
Because the problem is, people are speaking about it, but nobody hears them. And it just happens that, of course, with all the, media and the social media, when you have followers and you post it, you just have more chances to be heard. So if it's to help with that, then, but this is nothing. Obviously, we can do so much more. This is nothing. So I'm just happy to be able to do that, to spread the word, if that's what I can do, and hopefully I can do much more.
Welcome back. Tonight we're going to cover another special movie called The Man I Love, starring Rami Malek. Enjoy the red carpet. There was another great red carpet with the movie The Man I Love. So let's move on to the press conference. We can meet the main character himself, Rami Malek.
Why? What was the starting point? Why did you want to tell the Jimmy story?
Because we lived it. You know, Mauricio and I met 15 years ago, and both of us were, I guess in a way, we're survivors of that time. And also we remembered so much about it that maybe other people couldn't feel. It took us 15 years and 6 films to get to the point in which we felt like we could tell this story. I think our intention was to really recall that of course, it was a very dark period. It was a period of loss and great sadness, but there was also this collective spirit of filled with art, filled with joy, filled with pain. We had so much that we wanted to convey in that conflict between what was lost and what existed. But it just took a long time for us to be ready and have a perspective on the story we wanted to tell.
Yeah, it was when we met and we started talking about working together. That story was the first story that connected us, and we knew we wanted to make a film about those days. But I think intuitively we understood that we needed time for it, and we needed the perspective of, maybe 10 years or more. So we just kept making the other films, and it just felt that this was the right time for this one.
Congratulations for the film, to all of you. It was very nice, and I would say cozy, in a way. So my question is to Mr. Malek. I found something from your Freddie in your Jimmy, especially when he sang at the parents' party. So what do you find there is common between the two characters you played, and why are they so different in the same way? And what about another Oscar?
What about them what? What was
another Oscar?
Academy Award.
Oh. Well, not if it's a cozy film. They are. At first, when I read the script, I said, "Oh, I can't do this. There's too many similarities. It could be problematic." There was a certain sense of fear, and I started to really think about what I was afraid of. Was it the similarities? Was it the singing? Was it obviously what was going on in the period? And the fear was, I knew I had to address the fear. If there's anything Freddie taught me, was address the fear. But if there's anything I learned from Ira as well, is that he makes unique cinema unlike any other. And I knew I was in extraordinary hands, and that if he was choosing me, I could rely on him, not only to depend on him throughout the film, but to elevate it, to push myself, to force myself, to race into that fire. And when I raced into it, I started to discover that these were men that were similar, but they were also worlds apart. I mean, you have an icon, a legend in Freddie, who was really had a destination, whereas Jimmy is just searching for creativity and love and intimacy and joy and pleasure in every moment. And he can sing. Does he sing as well as Freddie? No. Is he if he needs to learn kabuki, he's going to throw himself into it and into Onagata, and I did. Was it ever going to be perfect? Didn't have to be. It was just about this element of creating and living and joy. And New York in that period was a very different time. I mean, I could see Jimmy just going to, these downtown shows, seeing, Frank Maya at the time, or an entirely different experience of a man in that period. And so you can draw similarities, but I see them as two radically different figures altogether, especially as I have some more distance from it.
Welcome to another great day here at the Cannes Film Festival. Tonight we have the pleasure to welcome the Norwegian movie Fjord. And we're going to find some familiar names like Sebastian Stan, who plays the Romanian father in the family. Enjoy the red carpet. Welcome back. We're excited to move on with another great press conference with the movie Fjord, where we're going to meet Sebastian Stan.
Well known to pick up your film subjects from newspaper headlines because you've been a journalist. Was it the case with this particular film?
Pretty much. It's just that, like always, I allow some years to pass between this moment when I read a piece of news and the moment when I decide to make a film about it or starting from it, because I never reenact what has happened. I just like starting from a real story to speak about something that I consider to be important happening in the society today, and I need a while for that wowness of the news to dissipate before I make the film. So for this case, for example, I read the first articles about such situations, I would say some 10 years ago. And I started collecting such situations. And finally, I started documenting these cases like 4 years ago. And I went to Norway. And I started talking to these people, the people involved in all such situations. So finally, when I decided to write down the screenplay, which was like 2 years ago, I had a lot of information and a lot of details from a lot of such cases.
The first time we met was at when he screened Graduation, I believe at the New York Film Festival. And I went there, I brought my mom.
Actually, your mom brought you.
By car. Yeah. And by the way, you forgot Beyond the Hills. He also got for that. Look, it's been a real dream. I mean, personally, certainly, it's been a journey for me to reconnect with Romania. You know, I left in a very chaotic way, and you know, I've really tried to educate myself about the country, and I found through film I can learn easier. I think that's what art is supposed to be about, right? It's supposed to sort of create some distance and some space for us to process things a little bit, perhaps differently than just from the reality. It was natural for me to try to kind of find my way to bond, rebond with the country through film, and who else to do it with than this man who I think has, you know, I've admired for a very long time because of how he. You know, he's got such a keen eye on what's happening, and I think you know, storytelling and just the way he's told them in the past have been so effective. And I think we're still probably reflecting about the movie today, and that's not an accident, you know. So it was just very obvious for me.
Lisa? Especially after we shaped him, everything became very, very clear.
Yes. Welcome back, and today is the final day of the Cannes Film Festival 2026. In some way it feels pretty sad because we're enjoying ourselves so much to see so many great movies. But tonight we're finally going to find out who's going to win the prestigious Palme d'Or. And first we're going to see the final ceremony. Enjoy.
Cette année, sur ce même tapis rouge, il y a quelques jours, pour son premier film en tant que réalisateur.
Christian Mungios Field.
Please give me this moment to enjoy.
Mesdames et messieurs, Palme d'Or 2026, Christian Mungiu.
We need to encourage this attitude, and I'm encouraging everybody to discover this attitude in himself, in which we don't rush to judge so easily the other. It's good to make this little step backwards, to understand that we all use a lot of stereotypes and cliches and simplifications to judge the others. We include people into categories, but you know, people are people and we are all individuals, and every time when you give yourself the freedom, the liberty, the patience to know the other, you will understand that eventually he's not that different than you. Whenever you you focus on the differences, you will see in the other an enemy. And okay, we have this in our DNA, to see the others mostly as enemies because we have this survival instinct. And 1,000 years ago, if somebody was coming on horseback across the hill, they were no tourists. They were coming there to take your land, your wife, and your goods. But we claim to be civilized people, and civilization means this attempt of trying to lower down your instincts and to be a little bit more open, because this is the only way. And you know, talking about religion, of course, religion exaggerated longer years, but it was a factor of educating people when ration was not in power. So we need to understand that it's just reasonable to allow the people who have this lovely strength of finding a meaning in life through religion, that they have this right. I would be very happy for you if you find a sense in life without religion. That's great for you. But you know, let's look each of us for our way, our own path. And I found in Norway a very developed society. It's not about Norway, this film. It's about the Nordic countries representing a little bit this very progressive society in which they believe so much in this good for everybody that they are very open into sharing these values for everybody. It is just that this needs to come also with the understanding that among the progressive values is the one encouraging you to respect the minorities. And you have to be free to still choose your minority. And even if you want to help people who might be more intuitive than rational, you have to bring on the arguments to convince them.